So I got married about like a month and a few days ago. And it was really cool, had the best time ever, went on a cute honeymoon to Mexico, my amazing husband, Precious. And when I was away there, I just had like this idea to like do this sit down with my dad and talk about, you know, things that we've never spoken about before. Literally, like, even as I was thinking about it, even, okay, yeah, we're here today. But even when I had the idea, I just had like a mini heart attack and I just felt like, oh my gosh, like, would he even say yes? What do I say? Because up to this point, we haven't really spoken about, like, you know, a lot of issues that we had. So my dad left when I was 11 years old and he moved to Nigeria, and I hadn't seen him for about 10 to 11 years. Then I went to Nigeria a few years ago and I saw him. And so basically on the day of my trad, which was shot by Manny Productions, on the day of my trad, I saw him for the first time. And at that point, it would have been, I hadn't seen for 3 years. So when I saw him and I walked in, you'll see on the video, I was just like, I just can't control myself. I was really, 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 really emotional. I was emotional because I saw my dad sit next to my mum, which I hadn't seen for like a really long time. Growing up in my home, it was very negative. So my dad left and there had been obviously issues between my mum and my dad. So that's why he had to leave. And growing up, we never really understood why he left. He never really explained, you know, his reasons or why he decided to leave the home and eventually go to Nigeria and stay there for like years and years. And we never really asked questions either. We just kind of accepted the way things are. And I think growing up in an African home, you just kind of don't say what you really want to say. You don't say, Dad, why did you leave? You just kind of like leave it. I don't know, maybe it's just my home, but especially with having like African parents, you're not always free to say what you want to say. You're not free to ask questions that you really want to ask questions. That doesn't make sense. You're not free to say what you really want to. You're not free to say what you really want to say, and you're not free to ask the questions that you really want to ask. So I just thought, let's just have like a sit down and talk for the very first time and get this on camera. I think this recording is not really for me because I've dealt with issues in life. I've dealt with issues to do with my dad. You know, when people say, I've got daddy issues, I had daddy issues. There was a lot of things, a lot of character traits that I had and a lot of things that I'd done in my life was a result of my dad is not around. But I had to really sit down and deal with that within myself and talk to myself and talk to God as well, and just really pour out like these issues that I had. And when I was like early 20s, I can say, like, hand on my heart, like I'd really, really dealt with those issues and I had forgiven my dad as well, which is so, so important. I think for many, many years, I didn't forgive my dad for leaving. I blamed him for like so many things, and I just got to a point and I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna forgive my dad. But yeah, so I'm gonna talk to my dad today. I'm gonna talk to my dad, and I don't know how it's gonna go. I'm a little bit nervous and shy. I've never really done anything like this before. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the video, and I hope someone out there can just watch this and have the courage to talk to their parents as well if there's anything you want to say. And yeah, drop me questions in the comments box. I'm so happy to like answer any questions. You can ask questions on, let me say that again. You can ask questions on Instagram, you can ask questions on this YouTube channel, but feel free. Yeah, it's just open conversation, and let's talk about it. So yeah. Hi, Dad.
Hello, Yeti.
My dad calls me Yeti. Disclaimer, because my name's Dorothy online. So embarrassing.
Wow, about 25 years ago now.
I'm 28.
Yeah. That was when we were in Addington, New Addington. you know, and you've changed a lot as well.
My head's got bigger.
Everything.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, you had more hair. You had like a lot more hair.
Then or now?
I think since the last time I saw you. And you're a bit more like, I was saying to Yinka the other day, you're a bit more like, what's the word? Agile. You're just active, like always on the run, always doing something, always going to somebody's house, always fixing a car. But I think you obviously still do that now, but it just made me be more like active.
I've always been very active anyway,
Yeah.
because of my job,
Yeah.
as a car mechanic, you know. So you have to be on the move, always standing, even when you're sleeping, so most occasions you are still thinking about what to do, how to go about problems,
Yeah.
and that keeps me fit,
Yeah. I also remember when we were living in New Addington.
Okay.
And I always used to go with you to like car jobs.
Of course.
And I don't know.
In the cold.
Yeah. I don't remember my brother's coming. Just me and you will go to fix cars, and I'll sit there in the car and I'll wait. And I remember you took me to a car job, and I was waiting in the person's house while you were fixing the car.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that I listened to Usher.
Okay.
Usher's video. You made me want to do the you know that song.
I think I also almost forgot you there, after being paid.
Yeah. Let's get that money. But I remember always being happy to go with you. And I remember, like for example, when you go to shops, I'd always want to come. Wherever you're going, I would always want to come.
Yeah, that's supposed to be the family spirit.
Yeah.
Always together.
Yeah.
And it's very important.
Yeah.
You don't forget them. Have to pick you up at school. Go for shopping. And it's nice.
I also remember Mum never used to come to the parents' evenings.
Yes.
Like never. My teachers didn't know who Mum was. They only saw you.
Yes, you're right.
So when we get in trouble at school or again parents' evenings, school plays, you would always be there. But Mum used to be, I haven't got time. I'll stay at home. But you were happy to come.
Yeah, actually, I won't say that you had any problem at school, because what they used to say to me then was that maybe you're not being attentive enough, but not like joining the gangs or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't smoke, and then thank God you two don't smoke as well up till now.
Well, I'm joking. Yeah. So yeah, when so obviously we're talking about when you left and why you left. But I guess we'll start from like the very beginning.
Wow. We're talking something from around 1998, it was 97, it was like at home for about 6 months, move out again for about a year, and it was on like that till about 2000 and about 2003 or so.
Yeah, because I remember you come back home.
Yeah, so those 5 years was very rough, on and off, because we'll probably sort out one problem, then another one surfaces again, and it kept on going on like that, so I actually went back to Nigeria 2005, yes, I was going and coming for up till about 2007, and eventually settled in Nigeria, and came back, November 22nd, which was, the kickoff of your wedding.
I was thinking, what was on the? Why did you come back November 22nd? What was that again? Yeah, that was our wedding day.
Yes, and it's been nice coming back. See you all, looking fit and happy. And another major part is that everybody delighted to see me again. Which is very, very important. Because it's a wonderful occasion. And I cannot be represented. I can only represent myself.
Yeah, that was a really big thing, you being at the wedding. I think if you didn't come, I'll be really upset. Yeah.
But I was doing my best to make sure
You
that
really did.
yes,
You tried. Everyone tried. But what happened? Because I'm saying me, my brothers and sister, we didn't understand why you left.
Let me put it this way. Generally, it's as if we were just not compatible then. Because hello might even mean sort of like make one of us being upset. So, and when things get to that point, it's like always looking for each other's mistakes.
So there's a lot of tension.
It was more than tension, because when things get to a level whereby it starts becoming abusive, it's like get out, come in, understand, that's something that's more than tension, and whereby it's like both of us can't hold our tempers, but honestly, when I say tempers, not an issue of building up to a level whereby we fighting physically, no, but whichever way, there are other ways, of causing tension, You children were involved, there. So the way the tension, to my side, I have to make sure that, because, I love you children, and, I just couldn't just part away with you like that, And then I'm sure you could remember even into the early, after the around 2002 up to 2005, I used to come around to you in, South Norwood.
Used to take us to McDonald's.
Of course, like a weekend outing,
Yeah.
and this and this and that, just to make sure
I
that,
remember you took
yes,
us to so many places.
yes,
Took us to- I think we even went to Fort Park.
Yes.
We actually still
Yes.
felt like you were there.
Of course,
Obviously, you wasn't living with us.
I remember my last, when I was going finally, it was nearing my birthday as well then. I came up, luckily there was a public holiday. I think it was May 1st or what, and Dara,
Yeah.
the last one now, we went to was IKEA? Yes.
Yeah.
Admin,
We went
and
to
then
have breakfast in
and I
IKEA.
said to, I think all of us said, do you need anything else? Because I'm going home finally.
Yeah.
You didn't really understand what I was saying then, because
we didn't
just
understand,
so and Dara, very young then, and he said to me, yeah, I want a Nintendo game, So we went down to the Argos, on the other side of the road, walked in there, and then I think that game then was about £212. I said, wow, but I was the one that asked the question, so I have to answer, and I said, okay, take it. And they said they haven't got any left in the shop, but it should go somewhere another shop, maybe about 2 days after. And I knew I was traveling that following day, I bought it, and I, up to now, I just feel happy that at least, I was able to deliver, honestly,
Yeah.
And then another point was, I could remember some years ago, a T, one of the twins, big boy now, he sent me on my birthday, what is a table tablecloth, and I've still got them today.
I'm remembering all these like
Yes,
things. Okay, disclaimer. we haven't really, we haven't spoken in detail, just bits and bobs here and there. But I'm just remembering, all like, basically all these good things. My memory of you is all good. I don't have, I'm not bitter, I'm not angry, I always remember like good things about people. So I'm just remembering, that my dad really was there for us and really tried, he provided for us, that kind of thing. But yeah, don't mind me. Sorry, you were saying that T asked you to buy something, or?
No, he sent me office with a desktop what's it called clock.
Okay.
Excellent. I kept it. Every now and then, always looking at it. But after a while, I think the clock stopped working. And then they say to me, "It's not working. Put it away. Put it in the drawer. Bring it out again." And so those little things, they do bring a sort of joy.
Yeah.
That you're not forgotten.
Yeah. Just hearing you say this, I didn't know that you cared that much. I just thought you just was like, okay, I'm going now, and that was it. I didn't think that you actually,
wow, you know, you were a bit, I won't say, you were a bit young then,
Yeah,
you know, so
yeah.
I
Was that
can't just
11?
like sort of, you know, line you up and say, no, listen, off I go. You know, it's not, you know, and morally, that's not good for you.
Yeah.
You know, you're not supposed like, let me put it this way, let's assume that I live on a Friday, and how do you go to school on Monday? Understand? You know, so it's not meant to be like that. You know, and maybe for instance, along the way, if you could remember, I used to come around like maybe once every two weeks, you know, and drop money for your bus pass, you know, this and that, you know.
There was
and
no online banking then. You had to
oh
actually come and give us cash.
yes, you know, yes, that's it, you know, after.
So when you went to Nigeria,
Yes.
so I remember you taking us to IKEA, like you said,
Yes.
and that was kind of like our last sit down. But I also remember you saying that you'll come back.
Yes.
So I think for a few years
And I'm back.
Yeah. I think for a few years, I thought maybe you'll come back. I don't know, like a year or two later.
Yes.
I didn't think it would be about 15 years.
I personally never knew how long I was going for.
Yeah.
But I had to leave because it was the best way of staying out of complicating issues here. Understand? You know, I grew up here, you know, and so going out there too was just like it became adventurous at them because I was doing what I love most, you know, mechanical work, you know. So I was able to set up a workshop within 2 years. You know, I started the workshop building before I left here. So on the verge of completion, you know, I went there, you know, opened up, you know, and as I speak, I'm happy with the progress of the workshop. All I'm trying to say that, you know, it's like every day, you know, it's always in my heart, you know, these children, you know, and I don't want to meet up with you in a court. You know,
Or in the grave.
no, listen, we're all bound to die one day, you know, but let us die with good, what's it called again, history of our, while we're alive.
Yeah, memories, yeah.
There's always so many occasions, you know, you keep on thinking, oh, you know, she's pushed me into this, she has pushed me into this. But over time, you know, that weight of my mind, because, you know, and that would have been part and parcel of the long timing of coming back again. You know, it's like, what am I going back there to do? What am I going back there to do? And it's better I just stay in Nigeria, face the business at least. You know, so you get married to something else. You know in your heart it's not actually you, but you are better because while I'm still there, let me say, I believe that at least there's peace. Understand? You know.
So did you feel like you were staying away to keep the peace?
I would say yes initially. You know, yes, because it's like while I was around, you know, with her, I tried to use the same measures of maybe let us do this, let us do that in the name of peace, but it didn't work. Understand? You know, I'm not putting blame to anybody's side, you know, but all I'm trying is that, you know, I believe then that I did try my best, you know, but maybe my best was not enough. You know.
You know, obviously there's 5 of us. There's 5, myself, my sister,
Yes.
and 3 brothers.
Yes.
Didn't you feel like you had to, you know, obviously we have a mother,
Okay.
but the roles of mum and dad are different.
Yeah.
You know, mum is more nurturing, she's
Okay.
caring,
Yeah.
but father should be, this is the way life is, this is what you need to learn about yourself, about life itself.
Yeah.
So didn't you feel like you had to, you know, fulfill your role as a father, or you thought it was okay with the way everything was, basically?
Yeti, I'm caring as well. You know, the way life is nowadays, honestly, look at it the other way around, whereby maybe I've left here, UK, and gone elsewhere, not even Nigeria, to work. If that's where I'm making my living, will you not be happier than me staying in UK and maybe in some form of hardship, which will not make the family happy? Oh yes.
I think it's different because
Yeah.
you know, and I'm not putting.
Yes.
There's no hatred here when I say this, but we didn't receive money from you. We didn't have help.
Money is not everything. Money is not everything at all. You know, if that's the situation, then when I came for the wedding, you should have chased me out and said, "What's your contribution?" Isn't it? Honestly.
Yeah, I guess
You know,
so.
you know, family ties are very important. You know, and you must have taken your decision to make sure that I'm here based on what you felt in yourself. You know, irrespective of whatever the amount of years now. You know that at least this man was very okay with with us. You know,
Yeah.
and blah blah blah. Yeah, you know. Honestly, you don't have to invite me. And the very first point of doing that is you won't have to tell me at all that you're getting married, isn't it? Oh, yes.
Yeah, my reasons for inviting you to our wedding wasn't because it's not even just I have great memories of you. It's not just because of great memories. It's because of I had to forgive the fact that you left.
Yeah.
It was, you know, even though you had your reasons,
Yeah.
and I got to a point where I understood your reasons. We had very small conversations.
Okay.
I've spoken to Uncle Johnny about it as well. But I had
She
to-
left on what was the reason of me leaving? Are you aware of
That's the
that?
thing. It wasn't about your reasons of leaving. It was
Yeah.
for the fact you left.
Okay.
And we didn't see you for like 15 years.
Okay.
That for me was like I personally feel like we should have grown up with a mother and a father.
Okay.
Because the circumstances were obviously there was tension like we spoke
Yeah.
about, but we felt like you could have stayed around, like
Yeah.
stayed in London
Yeah.
or
While alive.
stay close by.
Yeah.
You know, you had a living here, but
Okay.
you decided to start a new life and a
Yeah.
new living in
Yeah.
Nigeria. And we felt
Okay.
like you could have been closer, so we
Yeah.
could have had a better relationship with you.
Okay.
And you know, certain things in life could have been different. So times where we felt like, oh, we need to speak to Dad. I felt like I could speak to you when I was younger
Okay.
about like school issues, you know. And then all of a sudden, I don't have that anymore, and that affected me as a person because I don't have a father around that I can talk to. I have to talk to Mum, who's who's Mum, and you know Mum. And I didn't have that. For me, it was that equal balance. I had to find that balance in so many other things, like through dating, through working hard. I tried to fill a gap that I felt like you should have been there to help me with. But yeah, so to me, it's not just about the reasons why you left. It's about you leaving in general. Do you think staying away was the right thing?
Not really. If I had another option, I would have. But I believe then that I've tried everything possible. Yes.
So do you regret it?
No. It could have been the other way around, whereby you telling me now that that, but you could have just walked away for a while. Understand? And thank God, you're a woman now, so there's certain experiences that even I, as a father, your mom as well, we have to give you. Listen, this is how to deal with this. This is how to deal with that. Understand? Because even then there were a lot of mediators. All that time whereby I was moving in, going out. A lot of mediation was going on. By them use well wishers. If it gets to a point whereby they say, oh, listen, it looks as if the best way now just to have some pieces, stay apart.
Do you think that? How do you think it affected us as your children?
That's very difficult to say, because number one, I was out of the country, but for that short time that I was around, when I was just coming and going, I could see how it does affect you, because the sort of body language as of then, will be different from when I was not around at all. It's definitely obvious.
Or do you mean being back now?
You see, don't forget, being back now, back as adults.
So
Yeah.
you said there's a difference. Do you mean from when we were younger to now, or?
You said earlier that we go out, do this, do that, understand. It's just because maybe I was good or bad. That's not the issue. Your dad, isn't it? and that is expected of you. Also, it's expected of me to go out with you, But since I wasn't around, of course, every now and then, I always think, oh, what are they doing? What would they not be doing? Also, you'll be exposed to certain things that it's only me as a father that can give you the guideline. I say, Yeti, this is the way to go about it. This is not the way to go about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think that's what we needed when we were growing up.
Yes.
We needed guidance from a mother and a father.
Yes. It takes two to tango, So, will you say you've missed a lot on that?
Yeah.
In fact, that's what we'll be trying to refer to since.
Yeah.
And how do you hope to mend up on that?
How do we, both of us?
You first.
Oh, how do I mend it?
How do you hope to mend that now? You are married now, don't forget.
I don't think there's anything you can do. You can't go back in time. You can't change what has happened. But, sorry, when I say there's nothing you can do to change what's happened.
Yes.
But you can change your future. You can change what's going on today.
Oh, yes.
I can decide to hate you, or I can decide to love you.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? We all have a decision to either go left or right, but you have to decide how you want to move forward, and your decision affects yourself as well. Because if I hate you, that also affects me. Yeah.
Yes, because we could decide to be arguing with each other now. Yes, because that's the way. You and I know that would be nice, isn't it? So why are we talking to each other and just trying to argue? What progress are you going to bring on that? Yes, we're not going to make progress on that.
Yeah, there's no point of me being like, oh, why did you do there? But sometimes your question comes from, pain that you have. But because I don't really have, strong feelings. I have feelings towards what happened, but I don't have strong feelings enough for me to want to attack you with questions like why this, why that. Hence why we can, make this video. But not everybody has that. And you know what actually made me like this is, again, just like I mentioned earlier, just being able to forgive as well, being able to understand because I'm a Christian, being able to understand that Jesus forgave people that hurt him so much, so that I should forgive too. I think when I was about, so you left when I was about, I would say about 11/12, and I became a Christian when I was about 16, and I think maybe a few years into being a Christian, maybe about 2021, that I realised that I didn't really forgive you for leaving. And like I said, I wasn't upset because of your reasons for leaving. I was upset for the fact you left. And at that point as well, I had a problem with everybody that leaves me. Even if you drop the phone on me, that's a form of leaving. And this is for everybody. So I had to first find the root of my issues that I had, and then be able to say, okay, I forgive my dad for leaving. Yeah. And I'm going to forgive everybody else if they leave. And, from there, I feel like I started to grow as a person, and I was able to call you and not feel, like, oh, why did you do this? Why did you do that? I was able to call genuinely and be like, so how are you? How's business going? How's everything going?
We can start all over again.
Yeah.
Quarrel again.
Yeah, we can start again. I mean, this is now a month after we got married.
Yes.
Wait, is it a month?
A month? 5 weeks.
A month and a few days.
Yes.
I think weddings are great, bringing families together. My siblings hadn't seen my dad for about 15 years. I hadn't seen my dad for about 3 years. We saw each other in Nigeria 3 years ago, myself and my sister. But this is the first Christmas that we spent together.
Yes.
The first New Year's we spent together over a decade.
Yes.
So, we're grateful to God and going to move forward.
In fact, about the very first Christmas in about 20 years.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. How are you now making up for the lost time with your children?
Still building it up. It takes time. Still building it up.